The first of 4 defendants in the Las Vegas murder of Air Force Staff Sergeant Nathan Paet was found guilty last Friday, according to a report on the Air Force Times website. A native of Guam, Paet was gunned down by Michael Rodriguez at his Las Vegas residence back in December of 2010. Rodriguez's trial was held last week, and after closing arguments, it did not take long for jurors to come back with a guilty verdict. An ex-convict, Rodriguez is now eligible for the death penalty. Next to go on trial is Paet's wife, Michelle Paet, who prosecutors believe plotted her husband's murder in order to collect $650,000 in life insurance benefits. Authorities say Michelle Paet and Rodriguez were having an affair right before Rodriguez killed the husband and father of 4. 2 others were charged in the case: Corey Hawkins, who police believe was with Rodriguez at the Paet residence the night Paet was killed, and Jessica Austin, who prosecutors believe helped to get rid of evidence in the case. Michelle Paet's trial begins on October 5th.
United Airlines is facing a $300,000 lawsuit in federal court filed by a former employee who alleges she was discriminated against because of her disability. Arlenita Camacho says she was forced into retirement after she had asked for medical leave. Here's more.
Arlenita Camacho had been with United Airlines for nearly 20 years before she left the company earlier this year. Camacho, however, says in court documents that she didn't leave because she wanted to. She says she left because she was forced into retirement. It started in November last year. Court papers state that Camacho, after suffering with a disability due to heart surgery, put in another request for unpaid leave under the Family Medical Leave Act to treat a shoulder injury. The leave request would put Camacho out of work for a few months. But just 3 days after submitting her request, Camacho claims her direct supervisor gave her a poor performance review, the first she's ever received in her 19 years of service. Camacho says her supervisor forced her to sign the negative review, which came in the form of a performance improvement plan that, quote, inaccurately and fraudulently claimed that Camacho's performance was inadequate or needed improvement. Camacho refused to sign the PIP and, under emotional distress, uttered that she would rather retire than sign the form. Quote, at that point, the supervisor saw an opening to pressure an emotionally vulnerable employee into separating from United, court documents state. Camacho claims her supervisor continued to pressure her into retiring until she finally agreed. Then the time came in February when Camacho tried to rescind her agreement to retire, but by then it was too late. United processed her retirement and deemed her ineligible for rehire. Camacho believes that United Airlines wrongfully terminated her. Further, she believes, based on the Americans with Disabilities Act and the Family Medical Leave Act, she was discriminated against because of her disability and because she had asked for time off to treat her shoulder injury. By this complaint, court documents state, Camacho seeks some measure of justice for the discrimination and retaliation that rendered her working conditions intolerable, resulted in her separation from United, and which continue to cause significant economic harm. Camacho is asking for $300,000 in punitive and compensatory damages under the ADA, liquidated damages under the FMLA, as well as other requests related to her alleged wrongful termination.
A request for comment from United Airlines was not returned as of news time. You can read the complaint online at pacificnewscenter.com.
A man was killed in a car crash on the Leo Palace Road on Saturday night. The man was pronounced dead at 6:34 p.m. on Saturday, according to Guam Police Department Public Information Officer A.J. Balaja. The man was driving the Camry, was heading south on the Leo Palace Road in Ora when he lost control of the vehicle. The Camry encroached into the northbound lane and collided head-on with a Guam Senko tour bus. The bus had 10 passengers aboard and was driven by an adult male. The man who was driving the Camry was not responsive when medics arrived. He was transported to the Naval Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 6:34 p.m. on Saturday. The man was not yet identified. We'll have more on that story later on.
All right, we'll stay right there. We have more news for us coming up after the break.